I'm going to share with you today is just the basics of mortaring in a shower pan, which is highly recommended, especially with the cheap shower pans today. I'm going to show you what type of mortar to use. All right, here's my mortar mix. Now, when you leave the house and don't bring your 1/2-inch drill, this becomes your whip. All right, so I know what you're thinking. Bubbas backyard whip when you leave your 1/2-inch drill at home. Really a big deal because we're not building a clock. Now I mixed her up. I like a consistency. I want her to level out, but I want her to be firm. But I don't really want a lot of slump because I want it to stay. My pan is about 1/4 inch out of level from one side to the other. So this is what I use, Quikrete, commercial grade Quikrete, Morrison mix type S. I don't want big gravel in it, big rocks. That will throw me off trying to level it. So I don't need big aggregate. I want small aggregate. So this is what I use. What we have here is a 4-foot shower, and I already know that I'm a bubble off. Like Bubba's known that for a long time. I'm off about 1/4 inch from side to side, so I'm going to keep that in mind and place my mortar a little heavier on this side. I lay down a garbage bag, cut up in a garbage bag, and I've already tested my drain. There's no excess from below, so I tested it by pouring a gallon of water into the drain. Ran a whole gallon through there to make sure nothing's leaking. All right, so there you go. The plastic is so it doesn't bond to the plywood. First of all, you'll never get the pan out. Set the mortar on plastic, Visqueen. Just about any plastic will do. This is just a garbage bag. What you're looking to do is not stick the pan to the floor, but fill the uneven void, which will cause it to rock. I've carefully dumped my pail, putting a little heavier on this side than this side. Now I will spread it out. Didn't bring my trowel either, so there you go. We're gonna go a little heavier on this side. I used to finish drywall houses for years, so I can do a lot with a mud knife. Just kind of get it uniformly spaced out here. All right, we're looking at, the outer couple inches. There's nothing there. So there's no point in running this mortar all the way to the edge, because if you look at the bottom of the pan, I'll show you in a second, there's nothing there. All right, so we'll spread this all around, somewhat uniform. Of course, knowing that we're heavier on this side because we're 1/4 inch off bubble. Bottom of the pan, you come in a good 2.5 inches before you even have a grip on the floor. So really no point in getting crazy, taking it all the way to the edge. All right, I think that's a pretty good, moved it around pretty good. All right, we also have the same thing up here on this side. You've got 3 inches void at the curb. There's no need to put mortar in a big 3-4 inch void. So I have held back a little from that edge. All right, time to place the pan. I wasn't able to show you placing it in there, but the best way I find to do it is to tip it from the back down to the front. And we have this underneath drain. So the rubber boot goes around the drain. This is the type I'm installing. I'm not worried about that right now. Today, all I'm worried about doing is leveling this. Now I do have cement come out here at the end. So now I'm gonna place my level on. Still off a bubble. So I will put some pressure down on this end of the pan. Step on it a little bit. And then come down to the other end. We're gonna have to raise it up. We're getting a little bit done beforehand, but we have to drill some holes at the stud locations. Doing this video is you can have a second plastic and lay it over top of the mortar, so the mortar doesn't actually stick to the pan, because what you're really doing here is just trying to fill the void to stop movement. You don't need to bond mortar to the pan or to the floor. The whole point is to fill the void and level it. When you're drawing the screws in, you don't misshapen. You can actually draw this in too far and pull the pan. See the movement? Now there should be a shim behind there. I'll put my shims in later. I'm going to stop the screw. I just want to hold my depth for now. But don't misshapen your pan with the screws or you'll break the pan. We will level it both ways. All right, it has to be level this way and this way. But for now, I'm leveling this end, and this is my low end. I'm gonna put my weight on this end and level it out, and then I'll work on the other end. Then once I have a level to my liking, both directions, I usually walk away. I can add the balance of the screws tomorrow. All right, there you go. That's it, man. Mortaring down a shower pan. It's that simple. And I've got her fastened down at the 4 corners. Put a little bit of weight in the middle. That's only about a half a bucket of mud. It's not a full bucket. 3/4 of a gallon of paint. Just a little bit of weight, just to, I don't know, just makes me feel better. I don't know if I have a reason. And there we are. We're level. All directions, front, back, both ends. All right, spot on. Mortared in. I'm gonna walk away, come back tomorrow. If I was ever in a hurry, that big of a hurry, I could use speed set mortar, but I typically don't get in that big of a hurry. All right, join us at Keep It a Secret Home and Garden on YouTube for growing giant pumpkins, remodeling, and more. Bubba's Fish Clips. Jack and Bubba, join us.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Tell them, Elvis. Tell them how it is. Come on, baby.